V4. This is my version 4. This one was having steering issues the last time I went out. I couldn't imagine why it's having steering issues. I mean, the tires are small. So, but definitely didn't want to turn there at the end. So I kind of got back and put it away, and as you see, I haven't even broke up this body. I've been on its roof, it's been on its back. It is dented, which happens on all these bodies, even on the 8S. These shock supports tend to start poking through on a front endo, but that's what's to be expected. So I'm going to end up changing out this steering servo. I'm going to check my servo saver to make sure that it's not loosened up, because they do get loose. This still has the factory system in it. I haven't changed the system, and I might even put the Kraton wheels back on this. The V4 Kraton wheels. Look at the wing. See? Stickers are all demolished in these corners because these corners end up being the wheelie bar. So let's see about, I don't even think the factory tool fits in here. These wheels are so wide. I want to show you guys the difference between the two tires. So overall, they're about the same. Same overall, but the width is just, come on now. Look at that. That's a lot. But the suspension takes a beating when doing that. So if you're gonna go for big air and that kind of stuff, don't recommend it. But if you're gonna go ahead, hit a dirt trail, hit, you know, some minor jumps, you'll be okay with the trenches. They worked really good at the park. So I call them park bashers. For me, they work good at the park. But if you're gonna go out and hit a motorcycle track in the dirt, full trigger all the time, you're gonna want to run the factories or something that aren't so wide with not so much bite, not so much rotating mass. So definitely run your tires for your application. So let me see what servo we're gonna stick in here. I run these Savox servos. Hopefully this is the right pitch for this. I don't even know. I didn't even look. But let me just make sure that these are the right pitch. These servos work okay for a little while, but you got to get them swapped out. So, yep. That steering's going to work. I'm pretty sure I did buy it for it. Part number is the SC-0252MG. So once I get this servo installed, we will be bumping up the voltage to this. I tend to I've been ordering a lot of stuff for Arrmas lately, so I've always had a lot of Traxxas parts. I'm gonna go ahead and switch hands because you guys can't see. Didn't want that bolt to come off. Easiest way to get the bolt out. So now we have to open up the receiver box. Alright, so that'll be my receiver cover. So we can get to the receiver. take out the ESC. You gotta be careful, there are long and short bolts here. Now that we got that loose, see if I can get this servo out of here. See, the wire faces towards the top, then it goes to the bottom of this thing, and it's literally hooked in. And since they put it on first, it's hooked in the back. So you got to take the ESC wire off along with the receiver wire. So now that we got that all unhooked from that, we can pop out our receiver. Which is on a plate. Take the antenna tube off. So I have slop in my antenna. So it goes bind, steering, then your receiver. So we've got that out. Get it out of the box. There we go. Now this one hasn't failed completely. It hasn't stripped or anything, but it is weak. So I bought this for the Kraton. This is also what I reused to relocate the one on my infraction. I didn't use the Hot Racing brand. On the infraction, I used one of these, which is basically a replica of the Hot Racing one, kind of. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and get that changed out so that I don't have all that play in that piece. So there we go. That is a Kraton tray, but you get a lot of flex and movement in these trays. So there we go with that. I think it's easier at this time to fish my line up. Now this will be a little tricky, so I'm going to get the 4 bolts out with Loctite on them. Get one set up on my wrench. I feel like I'm like Arrma now, throwing all that Loctite in there. But it is aluminum, and it is my basher. And I do not want it coming loose. Make sure I didn't get that wire stuck in there. So for me, I'm not running this wire back underneath this servo. Or servo under this ESC. I will be putting the receiver one back on, which just goes to one of them. But I'll roll up the wires and put them in the box. There's no sense to run it around this thing. And just make my life hard when the servo breaks and I have to change it out. There we go, that's back in there now. These wires will go back over to there when I'm done, when it's out of my way. Get this thing plugged back into steering. Steering. Should help keep out the water. Now I pulled up on that antenna to get the 10 antenna tube out, just so you guys know there is a little set screw for that thing. Once you get the tube in, then you put the set screw back, and that'll lock that tube in from pulling out and let you yank it like I did. And that's it. Got a little bit more antenna on that. And then when it comes time to put your servo down, you're going to be using these washers now. So now I'll snug these bolts down. Everything should be mounted pretty hard. It does have a servo saver in here, which I want to check eventually, but I'm going to check the steering first. And then I'm going to lightly set this on, because we know this was at, straight was at a 90. And there we go. Kind of straight on that. Might have to go, yeah, that should be close enough, I guess. But we'll power it up first before we lock that in. There you go, guys. So I basically replaced out this thing, which this is so hard to get in, but this whole thing, I'm going to throw the hardware back in it, and I'll be right back. This video is getting kind of long, so I'll be right back. All right, got all that stuff mounted down. Now we're going to go ahead and throw the wheels back on, and then I'm going to put it on the ground and set my steering. I don't know if these are directional. I don't think so. And there we go, guys. It's all ready. So I'm going to set the steering off camera, because you guys don't need to, everybody knows how to put that bolt back in. You just power it up. I'll throw some batteries in it and power it up. And put the one nut in the center with my controller set at 0. And I always do it when it's on the ground, because that way you can get center correct. There we go. There is the V4 Kraton, all ready to go up against the new EXB roller. Alright guys, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys on my next video.